tempting. You on the watch today, huh? You on the careful watch today, huh? The careful watch. You got a whiny friend over there? You got a whiny bobiny? You have a whiny bobiny friend? Oh, woo! What you think about that friend? What's he up to over there? You trying to dig? You trying to dig up underneath your thing? You tell him no. You say no, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir. How's your day so far? It just started, bro. Woke up about half an hour ago, I think. Been tending to, I've been sleeping, sleeping late because I've been going to bed at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Pretty retarded. But that's Paul's ego for you. The rotating sleep schedule. What state am I in? A state of bliss. A state of contentment. What state are you in? Wipe me down. A New York state of mind. Misery? You're in a state of misery? Oh, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. Love your cup. I have a picture like that with my dogs and my cat. It's just me and my cat. Chilling on a lake shore, I guess, hanging out, watching the lake. I guess. I don't know what we're doing. But it's cute though. D's not on there though. Dinor not on there. This one didn't make a Dinor cup. Huh. You wanna come up here? Come around this way. I'll scoot back a little bit. There we go. Wow, some lap time for you. I gotta be able to see around you, big boy. Big chunky. I'm gonna be able to see around you a little bit. I'm gonna be able to see around you a little bit. You're so hairy. You're so fuzzy. E-collar, yeah. It's a, what you call it? Tracking. So he's not a big runner, but his brother, the cat, is. Well, not a runner, but we're more worried about him, but we got a deal on 2 of them. So Dinor wears 1 too. Just in case. Just in case he decides to go against his nature and walk somewhere over 100 feet from Dad. That has never happened yet, but maybe one day. That's why we got the collar, huh? That's why we got the tracker collar for you, huh? We'll put you on the trackers for that. You want to get down? think, D? What you think? What you think? What you think? What you think? Here we go. We're going in. Going in. We're going in. It's too cold. It's too cold, D. Too cold. Going down in the basement. Let's go down to the basement, D. You and me. You want to come down or no? You are welcome to come down if you want to. There is plenty of room for you down here, Dinore. Dinore Fontore. Dinore. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Dinore. When someone starts to whine, and it happens all the time, that's Dinore. That's Dinore. Weed. Oh, I gotta pull up you guys up on here. This is my new favorite maneuver when I do these indoor-outdoor situations. Is I just bring you bitches up over here. So I'm not having to squint. I'm not having to squint at that screen and pissing myself off. Nice keyboard. It's literally just a cheap 10 keyless Meiji? It's just a 10 keyless keyboard. Just a tiny keyboard. Because I got tired of having a keyboard that was literally like the size of my desk. I had one of those Razer keyboards from back in the day that had like 90 million extra buttons, function, like 12 rows of function buttons, and this, that, and the other fucking thing, and yeah, it was enough. Is this the Talk-Tua? Yeah, dude, this is Talk-Tua. I took it over. I bought it for her since she's now a crypto scammer. I bought Talk-Tua, and so that's me now. It's time to Talk-Tua that thing. Or whatever her, what was her saying? Talk-Tua that thing. Oh yeah, the classic Dinor. Still looks good too. All these years later. This is a 2015 shirt. Still looks pretty damn good. You can still tell what it is, you know. I see the trolls have found your channel. What? Yeah, they don't find the channel. They just scroll through. Hello from Scotland. Oh, we've been watching one of your Scottish countrymen, Alan Cumming. Alan Cumming, dude, a Scottish icon. Dude, you want to know what the biggest travesty in the world is? I never got a Coolsville shirt. How fucked up is that? When the Coolsville shirt came out, I was so broke that I couldn't afford to buy one. And I never was given a Coolsville shirt. Not one time. Isn't that fucked up? Seems fucked up. Oh shit, it's Ice Spice. Are you thick Ice Spice or are you new Ozempic Ice Spice? Because Ozempic Ice Spice can go back to the fucking factory, bro. That's enough. But old thicky Ice Spice, old pre-Ozempic Ice Spice, that's all right. It's 100% all right. Foardt. Yeah. Semi-glutide Ice Spice is not great, dude. But old Ice Spice, Ice Spice 1.0, not bad. Did you know Bruno Mars is not from Mars? What? Man, you shouldn't be allowed to name yourself Bruno Mars if you're not literally from Mars. Whose dumbass fucking idea was that? Gonna live stream the inauguration? No, probably not. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really talked to the guys about it. I guess we'll see. I really don't care. I've been enjoying like the overall lack of political bullshit on the show. So you're never gonna catch me going like, "Hey guys, let's do some politics." Nah, let's not. To be give me a hit. Too retarded, sorry. Like if you could ask me in a complete sentence, I'd fucking hook you up. But you couldn't even spell Tubby. You don't even know Tubby has two B's. That's fucked up, bro. Do you miss having farm animals like when you were a kid? Sometimes, yeah. I think a good portion of my like ideal place is probably just nostalgia for where I grew up, probably. I would guess. Anyway. I'll be spending my birthday preparing our animals for the winter storm. Oh, yeah. I didn't know you had animals, Ghoulie Ghoul. Or maybe I did. Maybe you told me. That's cool, though. Let's pray for California. Is it cold here in Tampa? Yes. That's freezing. You have chicans? You have the chican? Why are we talking about Elon? There seems to be like a whole ass side convo about Elon going on. How about nah? How about we pass on that? There ain't nothing going on with Elon that's worth discussing, trust me. Well, I think Elon Musk personally is an Elon Musk guy, personally. Personally, Elon Musk. Personally, Elon Musk. Yeah, I know he had drama over a video game that he plays. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, and neither should you. It's 70 in Tampa. It's not cold. What? Do you think comedians are actually funny, or are they all taking the Joe Rogan pill of making unfunny jokes and then just saying people didn't laugh because they're woke? Bro, that's very complex. Is it possible that Joe Rogan's just a dumbass with a podcast? In your mind, is that a possibility? Because that's what I think. That's as deep as the rabbit hole goes for me. Joe Rogan is a dumbass that has a popular podcast. Does it need to go deeper? Do we need to explore deeper than that, or are we good? There's a dude here that is so mad that he's not in Florida, that he's arguing with himself about central Illinois being colder than Florida. You can't make this shit up. This dude's morning is him literally arguing with himself because he lives in Illinois. My G. My G. What the fuck, my friend? Dude, what is going on, man? Are you somebody's angry uncle or what? What's going on? Listen to this run-on sentence. Well, unfortunately, liberal mind thinking doesn't go that far. Liberal mind thinking believes that everyone knows you something, for you know nothing, for another people still have to pay for you. You graduated from fucking middle school? You graduated from middle school, homie? Because I think they let you. I think they let you slide, homie. I think they let you slide, homie. That's how I'm feeling about it. That could be a bot. Nah, bots typically make more sense. Legit. Like bots typically will make more sense than that. That's a straight up dude. That's a dude that exists. He's out there amongst us. Yeah, it's that Illinois school system. It's the woke mind virus. I'm lost my son. Xander, 22, 58, 72, sine, cosine, tangent, rings of Pluto, 78, Alpha Centauri, to the woke mind virus. Some dudes be really existing and shit. Billy, you ain't fucking kidding, bro. You ain't kidding, Bill. You ain't kidding, Big Bill. Some dudes really be out there. And it's like your interaction with them is one fleeting run-on comment with no periods in it. Right? But he lives a whole life today. Like whatever he does during, like he's out, he's doing shit. You know what I mean? You feel me? He's out there doing shit. I don't know what he's doing, but I know he's probably not qualified for it, whatever it is. I mean, don't even get me started on that. Some of them raise children. Paul is a qualified groomer. A qualified groomer? What? Blows my mind that they have lives outside of pissing me off. I know. You think about it. Like sometimes I will fucking straight up imagine them like, like I finish a stream, they crack their knuckles and stand up. And then I just like, my mind goes blank, right? Because I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing after that? You know? I don't fucking know. I don't know what they're up to at that point. I don't know. Talk to Billy the Fridge anymore? He's right above you. And yes, that's Bill the Fridge. You think I would wrench a fake Bill? He's just a Bill. He's only a Bill. Sitting there on Capitol Hill. Nah, dude. Big Bill Fridge. Big Bill Fridge got a new show going on with Keemstar? Is that true? Doing like Lol Cow's wrap-up show? The wrap-up show. That's pretty dope. What a unit. What an absolute unit. Lol Cow Rewind. Yeah. You need to go like at the beginning of it, Billy. You need to go. Welcome to Lol Cow Rewind. I'm whatever. We're here with Boogie. You know what I mean? You need to start with that. You need to practice your I have thought about that so many times. It's nothing where it needs to be, so far from Lynch, and really not even Missy Elliott levels. Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You need some. They will bring a reason, but reason that they need said about the lazy more girl. I got to support that. The word is it. You got to practice that type of shit sometimes. Just your gibberish. It's actually good for your brain. I remember reading about that. It's good for your brain. TJ and I will do that to like warm up before the show sometimes. Like TJ, like we'll be waiting for Scotty to poop or something, and we'll be sitting there in the room, waiting for the show. And I'll just go like, her version and snap out version of Bunjandin simple working about and he'll be like, you know what I mean? You got to practice it. There is something. So they did a study, right? They did a study on those Pentecostal Christian sects that speak in tongues. They hooked people up to diodes, the brain diodes and stuff, while they were going, when they're doing all that, right? They fucking hooked them up to that, and they found that their language centers were something like, I can't remember the percentage, but more active than the average person giving a speech in front of people, right? You grew up in a church that did that? Yeah. My mom grew up in a Free Will Baptist church where they would speak in tongues a little bit. And I never heard her do it. But I was in a show one time where I had to speak in tongues. If you ever want to be a guest, you're allowed to talk backwards the entire time. I won't stop you. All right. Well, yeah, hit me up, bro. Hit me up. I'll come sit in that fucking beautiful podcast environment. I'll poop down my own butt on a podcast. I don't care. You know what I want to see one time? I want to see, because I feel like this is something that the internet has not done yet. I want to see somebody orient their ass to where it's pointing straight up in the air, right? I want them to launch a turd straight into the air and catch it back in their ass. Okay? This is something that I've thought is possible for a human being to do for a very long time, right? Lean back, right? So your ass is pointing. You'd have to fucking aim it perfect. It'd have to be straight up, because if it was angled at all, that turd is going to arc. You want the turd to go whoo, straight up, and then you've got to somehow gape it to get it back, to have it just go whoo. I want it to make that noise when it goes back in. I want it to go whoo, whoo, just straight in, no spillage. If you could poop into your own butt, it would be amazing. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you, sir. Yeah, nothing but net. Boom, boom. Tell me you wouldn't be the most impressed shit. Your recollections on the record-burning Satanic Panic of the 80s? I was a little young in the 80s. I know I look ancient, but I'm not like from the 70s, okay? I was born in 1980. The only time that the Satanic Panic hit me in the 1980s was there was a cartoon what came out called Dungeons and Dragons. It was not even a good cartoon. My mom, who typically, if you go back all through my upbringing and stuff, pretty much not a religious person, heard somewhere through the grapevine that that was a devil show and that they were trying to teach kids to summon demons and speak with devils. And I was banned from watching Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon. But I think she picked a good cartoon to ban me from because that it didn't last very long and it's not very well remembered. But that's the only time that the Satanic Panic. Did I do it anyway? What the fuck do you think? Of course I did. Every time I could get away with it, I did. But the cartoon wasn't great. I remember watching it and going like, "Ooh, when's the evil demon summoning gonna start?" And it was literally just the nerdiest show. I thought you said your parents were into that censorship stuff, huh? I love the Satanic Panic DFF. Apparently, my sis was a quasi victim of it too. Yeah. I mean, I got lucky. My parents were pretty chill, given other parents in that era, right? In the 80s, parents became a little bit fucking insane, right? Well, maybe they always were, but my parents were pretty chill. Oh yeah, any like rock band, and then like it actually like the Satanic Panic gave way to the crime panic in the 90s, right? So it was the Satanic Panic in the 80s, and then everybody just burned out on that, and it was like the butt of a lot of social jokes and stuff. And so those same pearl clutching people started going like, there's too much violence in music. So it went from these guys are demon summoners and they talk about sex and drugs. And it went from that when people stopped caring about that and laughed at their face about that, they just changed their branding a little bit. There's too much violent lyrics. Violent lyrics makes kids do violent things. That was the 90s. Yeah, that was the 90s. My buddy's mom wouldn't let him play magic cards with me, and he became a hardcore drug addict. She should have let him have the nerd game. Yeah. I mean, what would you rather have? You know, a son that's a little bit nerdy playing Magic the Gathering, you know, um, tapping 2 colorless to summon a soul ring on turn 2. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a son that's locked in doing that than out there shooting heroin and shit. You came home with a beanie with a pentagram on it. Your mom made you get rid of it. That's wild. I don't see. That's the thing is like my mom probably would have like forced me to get rid of a beanie like that too. I would imagine. I just wasn't like it. Just wasn't all that the like devil worship Satan symbol kind of edgelordism really hadn't kicked in the 90s. There were people doing it, I'm not gonna lie, but it just wasn't cool yet. Let's put it that way. I met kids whose parents wouldn't let them read Harry Potter. Oh yeah. Harry Potter is a warlock. Warlocks are the enemies of God. Can you imagine your mother raising TJ? Oh, TJ would just be a different person. I mean, I'm a big like 50-50 nature nurture type of guy. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you got about half and half, right? You got like certain proclivities, and then you've got how your parents raised you, and that kind of smashes together, makes the person that you are. So if my mother had raised TJ, he'd probably be a lot more like me than he is, you know? I would imagine, anyway. OT. OG. Go have a smoke. Smoke and a pancake. Pipe and a crepe. Bong and a blintz. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You think the banana still happens? Maybe. Try to cancel SpongeBob? SpongeBob? Come on. Why are they trying to cancel SpongeBob? Hope you like the new place. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah, I think I was lucky. I think I was lucky I didn't have like hyper religious parents. I think that worked out for me pretty well. It's kind of funny because now my parents are that way. My parents are way more religious now than they were when they were raising me. So now I have to deal with like old people religion, which is, I think it's a whole different beast. I think old people religion is a whole different ball of wax. I really do. It's a whole different thing to have to deal with. As a kid, I remember our pastor preaching about Pokemon being demonic. Dude, they gotta stop doing that, because I probably wouldn't have watched that Dungeons and Dragons cartoon a couple of times if my mom hadn't made such a big fucking lame ass deal about it. Hey, baby. What's going on?
I got some eggs and toast today.
I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat them.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like eating until fucking I've been up for 7 hours and then I got ravenous.
Well, we could get my free birthday pizza if you want.
Oh yeah, you got a free birthday pizza. That's true.
And the size you want, it's probably not going to be 100% covered, but it'll be decently covered.
It is what it is.
I can go pick it up while I'm out and about, so I don't have to pay for delivery.
Yep. Do you think people get religious because they think they're headed for hell if they don't? I don't know, man. Like, it definitely hit my family later, and I think that's probably more common than you think. Like, for people when they get older to start leaning into religiosity more and more, I guess. Oh yeah, I bet. I bet it's tough. Like, you want your kids to be over at your grandparents' house, but you do not want them indoctrinated into the church thing. Like, I don't know how I would handle that shit, to be honest with you. It'd be an uphill battle for sure. What was the name of that book you mentioned that's basically a breakdown of the psychology of how to do tarot and palm reading? I honestly don't remember the name of the book. It was not like some well-worn book or something. It was a paperback book that I had back in the 90s that taught you some different psychological angles to use when playing the tarot game, which is what it is, by the way. Like, tarot is a game, right? Some people believe it's more, but really it's just a game. And the game is creating a scenario that is fascinating for another person, right? It's a prompt to perform. So Jodorowsky has a good tarot book. Cool. I didn't know that. I told my mom, if you want to see Raven and Seraph, I don't want you to force this religion stuff on them. Raven and Seraph are your children? Holy shit. Raven and Seraph, bro. Holy fuck. Ooh, 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 it's so fucking cold outside. Why is it colder today? Is it more moist today?
Maybe.
Or am I just being a little bitch about it today? I think I might, it's a little of both. It's moist and I'm being a little bitch about it. Being a little pussy about it. I gotta harden the fuck up, man. I can't be living here where it's cold and bitching about how fucking cold it is every day. That's just a goddamn nightmare. Hey, thanks. Thanks for the Canuck bucks, bro. You are appreciated. Even though you was a crack fiend, mama. Always knew you was a black queen, mama. Dear mama. You need a nice winter jacket? I have. I have. I'm trying to get, because I look around at the locals over here, people in my neighborhood walking around and stuff. None of them are bundled up in a big winter jacket like me. They're wearing this. I saw a dude the other day when I was outside going. He was in fucking sandals, shorts, and a hoodie. I'm like, fuck. I gotta suck it up, bro. I gotta suck it up. I gotta become one with the cold or something. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Some people are just weird like that. Nah, that's just a locals thing, dude. When I talked to my neighbor, that's what he told me. He was like, yeah. He was like, once you've been here for a while, you'll be running around in shorts too. I was like, oh, man, I hope so. I aspire to that. Working out when it's cold. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Need to go out there and start working the heavy bag in the morning. Get that blood pumping. I bet that would help. I bet my stagnant, sedentary ass, if I got that blood pumping, you know what I mean? Start pumping that blood. I visited Cali last month and was shocked at people's perception that 80 degrees is cold. 80? Nobody thinks 80 degrees is cold in California. You're bullshitting. Yeah, I'm calling straight bullshit on that. They are not used to like super cold weather in most of California, but you know, some of California's way up in the fucking mountains, colder than a witch's titty, colder than a well digger's ass up there. Okay? California's got a little bit of everything, so you can't be judging it all. Just because you landed in fucking LA and met somebody who said some weird shit doesn't mean you've had the Cali experience, okay? People trapped in blizzards will sleep, then get up for a run, sleep, run, repeat till the blizzard ends and go back to safety. Oh. I didn't know that. That's how you survive a blizzard, apparently. You just run. Run, run, run with the blizzard. Work out like Rocky in a meat locker. Oh yeah, I should go punch meat. That sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna go punch meat. I'm gonna be a meat puncher. What do you think about that? How do you guys feel about that shit? I'll be a meat puncher. Yeah, I'll do his Russian exercises where he's like running through the snow, pulling a sled. Personally, I don't work out till the spring. Once winter comes, I don't like to exercise. Okay. That's cool. Good. You do you. Episodes for sale. I'd love to see a classic DFF on shady billionaire deaths and murders. Has there been enough of those? I guess there probably has been. There's been a lot of deadly intrigue in those areas, huh? Maybe. Possibly. I'm also interested in what it might cost to fund a DFF episode. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, typically we're pretty fucking cool about it. You give a generous donation or something while we're live and say, hey, do an episode on this, and one of us will usually pick it up. But we don't have like a standard thing where people purchase an episode. That's just not a thing we do. Fred Durst versus Kid Rock. Yeah, who's the bigger douche? That would be a good one. Battle of the douches. Who's the bigger douche? Fred Durst or Kid Rock? That would be a pretty decent one. That could be done. Could work. That dude just got his episode for free. No, I didn't say I was going to make the episode. I said I think it could work. I don't really set up the versus episodes. That's kind of a TJ thing. DFF hair and glam rock. It's an interesting idea. Just tough to do because we can't play any hair rock. You know what I mean? It's like, that's been one of the areas where we haven't been able to do a whole ton of shows because it's just like, who wants to do a whole show where we can't sit and hear some of the glam rock and watch some of the videos from the glam era? You know what I mean? Like, it's just all fucking copyright bait. Bullshit. So thinking of ways to get around that is the trick, right? I swear I cringe, dude. Every time, like, and it's usually Scotty that'll do it. He'll be like, here's some movie trailers for a goal. And it's just like, dude, every time we do these, we get fucking nuked. Every time. And, yeah, it usually happens out that way. Movie trailers are fucking notorious for triggering copyright shit, which that to me is just like so counterproductive. It's like if I was making a movie and I put a trailer out for it, I would want people to share it far and wide, to stream it, to look at it 1 billion fucking times. Like, I do not understand the impetus to try and, like, punish people for talking about your movie that's coming out. It's just like, what? So I'm sitting here doing a fucking podcast in front of a couple thousand people, and I'm trying to shout your movie out and give you free advertising, and you're gonna ding me with a copyright strike for it? It's like, so you don't want your movies to have organic buzz and word of mouth and shit? That's what I'm getting from that? It'd be so cool if you could just jam to whatever you want on stream. It's ridiculous as if people would all of a sudden only consume it for free. That's the thing. It's like the way that the copyright restrictions for stuff, it just like completely ignores fair use, completely and utterly ignores fair use. It's like that concept, as is outlined in the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, that's supposed to protect people in the cases of commentary, incidental use, blah, 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 blah. There's a whole list of things that you're allowed to do that you're not allowed to do. So these companies have way, way, way too much influence on these social media companies. It's another one of the reasons why these tech companies need to be broken up. I don't see any likelihood that that's going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong. But I will tell you that these giant tech conglomerate companies need to be broken up. There needs to be competition in the space, like there is for every other kind of thing. You don't get to be the only pizza place in the world. You don't get to be the only social media platform in the world. These platforms need to be broken up into subsidiary companies that compete with one another. There need to be competing products on the market. Otherwise, you're just dealing with a straight up fucking, monopoly, which is exactly what's happening now. The reason why YouTube is such a fucking wasteland for creatives is because it's a functional video monopoly. It's pretty much the only notable service in the world for hosting video. What happened to all those YouTube wannabes? The same thing that happens to any company that tries to open up shop when there's a functional monopoly in the market. They get destroyed. They get pushed out because they just cannot compete with the monopoly holder, right? That is the point of a monopoly. If you are the only place that people can go to get what they want, you have a monopoly. Why this is allowed in the social media environment, I don't know. Well, I do know, because it's probably making fuck tons of money for the people that would be regulators, right? You look defeated? Huh? I don't even know what to do with those types of out-of-pocket fucking comments that just come out of nowhere. Every time somebody makes one, I imagine a motherfucker walking up to another motherfucker in public and saying that, and it's like a fantasy. It just doesn't happen. Like, who the fuck are you? What are you even talking about? What are you doing here? Banning Congress from trading stock. Oh, yeah. That needs to happen, period. I don't know why that's allowed. I don't know why that conflict of interest. Well, once again, I do know why it's allowed, because it makes a lot of money. It makes a lot of money for people in power, for them to be able to invest in a company and then pass legislation that benefits that company. Yeah. So that's why it happens. But yeah, the fact that it happens makes our entire fucking system a joke. I mean, how are you going to argue with me that our system of politics and political participation in this country is not a joke when Donald Trump is about to fucking put his hand on the Bible and raise his hand and swear the oath of office, and the dude's going to be wearing a diaper while he does it? He's an 80-year-old man in a diaper that's about to swear to take over the fucking most important job in the world. You see what I mean? The whole fucking thing is a joke. The dude before him was a dementia-addled weirdo who sniffed children for a living. The dude before him was Donald Trump again. Our system is a complete joke. It has long since left the orbit of helping any people, any human being that participates in it. And it is time, long past time, that the American people hit the streets and fuck some shit up. Long past time that the American people hit the streets and take. Because these people have gotten out of fucking control. They've gotten out of control. President doesn't run anything anyway. This is such a fucking mentally retarded position that I don't even know where to start. Yeah, you're right. The president doesn't have any power. Meanwhile, all of fucking American history shows what a powerful position the presidency is and how remarkably influential the president is on world affairs. But you're right, the president doesn't do anything anyway. Like, why would you even say that? That lets me know one of two things. You've never cracked a history book, or you've got some sort of agenda. I'm going to guess it's number one. Never cracked a history book. Tuned out when you were learning history in fucking middle school. It's too dumb. Too dumb to participate. Would your dream bill be like all the birds, one stone kind of legislation? I don't even fucking know, bro. I don't think it comes in that way. This might be controversial. I think MLK ruined the public perception of protest. Huh? Having a conversation sometimes about this type of shit is just on the internet. I mean, people are just fucking so straight out of left field sometimes. I feel like the topic is straight up pretty fucking easy to follow, and people are just out fucking left field picking daisies and shit. What are you even talking about, bro? So you're telling me one of the leaders of one of the most successful protest movements in American history and thus world history ruined public perception of protests? I just don't know how you're existing in the same world as me. And you confidently type in the chat, the president doesn't do anything anyway. The president's not even powerful anyway. It's like, what? So the guy that can take us to war without congressional approval at the drop of a hat isn't powerful. The guy that can fucking do signing statements and enforce legislation, right, on the fly, not powerful. The guy that sets the tone and timbre for our fucking foreign policy, no power there. Our chief diplomat, no power there. You have to be retarded to think that. And I don't know how you exist as a fucking functional adult. Like, how do you take the trash to the curb? Like, if you're going to confidently show up in a public space and go like, the president doesn't do anything. You've just revealed that you fucking flunked school. You haven't cracked a book in 10 years. I mean, it's just fucking wild. That's the only explanation. I don't know how you think that. I don't know who told you that. Comes from liberal cope because Biden did fuck all. Yeah. Well, that's one of my favorite tricks that libs pull. When a lib is in power, the president is just weak, can't get it done. What do you want him to do? He's not Superman. When a conservative is in power, he's basically a Nazi that's going to immediately enact his entire fucking legislative agenda. He's going to rule by fucking fiat. Pick one, because you don't get it both ways. Well, a liberal does get it both ways. Deep down in the heart of a liberal, they know they're arguing for bullshit. Deep down, they know it's horse shit. So does a conservative. It's a football game. It's like me going like, the Raiders the greatest team ever. No, they're not. But I'm a Raiders fan, so I'll say some out-of-pocket shit like that. You know what the thing is? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I glaze the Raiders over their ability and fucking historical impact. It looks like somebody just came in with like 4 alts. Dum 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 da 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 dum. It's like delete them all. Am I into rock music? Yeah, I like rock music. Ain't nothing wrong with rock music. School's letting out, is it? I guess so on the west or on the east coast. On the east coast, school's letting out, so the 12-year-olds are coming in. Actually, I think a lot of the people that type like that are not actually, like, I don't get the vibe off of them that they're fucking just 12 and retarded. I get the vibe that they're like mid-20s to mid-30s and retarded, and that makes it so much worse. So much fucking worse. Probably owns a car and a gun. Yeah, probably. Maybe even has a job with responsibility and shit. Oh, yeah. He's out there. It's possible they're also bots. Yeah, I guess that is possible. Schrodinger's bot is what we call it around here. Literal bot behavior from human beings, so there's really no functional difference from my vantage point. That's like probably a good 60% of shit that gets posted in here is indistinguishable from bot behavior. Just well, that's the fucking thing. We talk about this a lot here, but you know, the combination of a bot infested social media environment and the absolute functional failure of the school system to create literate graduates has created this kind of perfect storm where human beings who were raised when their parents threw a fucking tablet in their lap and let them play Roblox and watch YouTube Kids, right? And that's all they know. And so they functionally learned to communicate by interacting with bots. And now they communicate like bots. So we're basically going to be dealing with 2 generations of people that don't know how to talk face to face. Like they cannot have a face to face conversation to save their fucking lives. Why do you think the like virginity epidemic is like, do you think that's just like happenstance? What do you think, women just decided they don't like dick anymore? That's why guys can't get fucked anymore? You think that's what it is? You think women just like all of a sudden decided like, we don't want to fuck anymore? You know what it is? Women refuse to fuck a socially inept retard that lives with their parents. You're socially crippled. You have a social disability if all you do is type online and all you learned was learned from your tablet and Roblox. You're fucked. Unfettered access to porn, right? You live in a fantasy fucking world where you are playing your persona online or whatever the fuck your weird shit is. You're not whoever you are. Like me, you see who I am. You hear who I am. You see where I live, right? The fuck are you? Oh yeah. Dude, you can see it already. Kids are cooked. You can't take their fucking device away from them. You can't. They're glued to it. Their brain doesn't function properly unless it's constantly hyperstimulated. It's a whole generation of kids cooked. As a teacher, the writing abilities of my students has steadily decreased in comprehension over the last 13 years. Seems about right. Seems to track with other teacher experiences that I've heard and read about. Like, this is not just old people ragging on the youngsters. This is kind of the death of reading and writing and face-to-face communication and interpersonal skills, and thus the ability to get a job and maintain it, the ability to get laid, the ability to have human relationships, and blah, 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 blah. It's all connected. It's all important. And I just see it reflected in these in the chats of these shows that I do just so often. You know what I mean? It's just one after the next of these like lost fucking people. I miss the Blockbuster video store days where you could look for movies physically, searching digitally on stream. Oh yeah, it does suck. Well, the thing that I've come to realize about it is like you are forced, like in that, when you go to the Blockbuster to pick out a movie, you're forced to just fucking suck it up and pick one. But on these streaming services, you can just scroll till your fucking eyes bleed. Like, I bet a lot of people spend more time looking for movies than watching movies. That's wild. But I bet it's true. Actually surprised someone was retarded enough to say that you don't think lesbians exist because women don't want to fuck pathetic men. What? Do you think it's a good thing to age gate the internet? Yes, 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 yes. No, it would be enforceable. You would just have to change how people access the internet. And probably the underlying structure of the internet would need to be updated and changed. But it's possible, it's just improbable. But yes, if I had a button that I could push that restricted access, that children's access, particularly the social media sites, I'd do it in a heartbeat. A heartbeat. Personally, I have a lot of social anxiety. I'm a former alcoholic. This led to isolation and burying myself in my phone. Thankfully, I've gotten better. Just got to put yourself out there. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are doing that. Heard the other day about people using ChatGPT to summarize chapters of books so they don't have to read it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, illiteracy is off the charts in this country. And it shows. All you got to do is just, like, go out in public. Run one of these fucking chats and just read it one day, and you'll see. There needs to be multiple layers of access to the internet if children have access to it at all. So the kindernet kind of idea that I have is that The internet ages up with you. So maybe you get access at 8 years old, right? And you're only going to be around 8 and 9-year-olds, right? And then you age up to 9. Now you're around 8 and 9 and 10-year-olds, right? It's just like a very slow progressive thing where you get access to information that would be relevant at your level of education. No bullshit, no social media, no ability to bully one another for school because your name is just appended to everything you do. That is desperately and sorely needed. A way to stick your name with what you say. It just makes sense. If you go run around your town screaming the N-word at the top of your lungs, somebody's going to find out who you are and where you live eventually. Them's the social consequences, friend. But here on the internet, you know what I mean? A little bit of social consequence goes a long way. So there's currently no way to enforce genuine social consequence on the internet, at least not in a blanket way. And as a result of that, the internet is a fantasy world where nerdy stick figure pimple fucking mongers are sitting around pretending to be doctors. Emaciated pimple mongers with monitor tans are sitting around pretending to be political experts and having fucking arguments with people and shit. And it's just like, dude, if you could see this person and talk with them for 3 minutes, you wouldn't waste your time casting pearls before swine. But on the internet, there's no way for you to see that they're a greasy pimple monger with a monitor tan. So what are you going to do? What are you doing, D? What are you boofing about? Anyway, I'm done talking about this shit. I'm over it.